women shouldn't get a foot up because they're a woman.
Nobody's asking for foot up.
Yes, you are.
No, we're not asking for foot up.
You're saying if you're so weak that you're
No, we're not saying that. You're not listening.
This is what
Kim, you're not listening to us.
Fight in a man's world.
Kim, do you think I don't work in a man's world?
So surprise, surprise, they actually kept in touch over the last year, and it was a year that saw America's partisan divide grow wider than ever. Pew Research from last year lays out the trends. More and more Democrats want their government active in world affairs. Most Republicans say pull back, focus on home. A record percentage of Democrats say racial discrimination keeps Black Americans down. Far fewer Republicans agree with that. How does that gap play out in real life? Well, let's catch up with Kim and Lorna.
If I'm making more money than someone else, I should have more money. I shouldn't have to take care of someone else who's not as smart or who's not working as hard.
At least they're still sort of talking.
It's that you can come here and build wealth.
In a year of Trump, Kim and Lorna have tried to keep a connection, but neither is budging politically.
I think everybody wants to work hard, and be proud of what they do.
Not everyone wants to work and be proud. They just want it for free.
What they fight about is statistically exactly what Americans are battling about now.
Okay, let's go.
This is Kim's universe.
Here, get in, guys.
A single mom with a good job and strong faith.
Good morning.
Hey, Father God, thank you for today. Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Dedicated to the Cowboy Church just outside Albuquerque, which is for those living rodeo and rancher lifestyles. Here, God and guns are a real pairing.
We have 2 slots left. If you didn't hear about our concealed carry class, it's $100.
She represents a small Republican island in a largely Democrat and poor state. And politically here, her circle is small.
President Trump gearing up to speak to thousands of American farmers and ranchers today in Nashville.
She says that once she was a news junkie, but no more. It's Fox or nothing, and even then, not much of that.
CNN?
No.
You're just not even watching.
I can't even. It makes me so angry that I just can't. It makes me physically angry, like I am mad.
And did you try for a while to broaden out, to sort of read?
I didn't try that. What I've tried to do is be more open with my liberal friends and not so shut down. I mean, it used to be where I'd just say, that's ridiculous, you're an idiot, I don't want to talk to you. And I have tried to really be a lot more open and to see another side.
1 year on, there's little that makes her cringe, except, the tweeting.
Sometimes he says some stuff that I'm like, could you just think beforehand? To me, I do think you could be a little more presidential and not get in a pissing contest over tweets.
Is there one in particular you didn't like?
The one where they were talking about the nuclear button. That was a little childish to me.
The fundamentals of Trump's deeds, not words, keep her loyal.
I agree with the travel ban. I don't understand why we think that everyone has a right to come to our country and we're worried about hurting their feelings or worried about their rights. I think we have to say, I'm sorry, it's going to take a little longer till we can vet you. But if my kids end up somewhere where they are bombed by a terrorist because we were too lax, I would have a real issue with that.
And there it is, the entrenched worldview now carved into the American landscape, increasingly as rigid as rock and as distinct as the geography.
The Pew Research Center had a look at this and found that the conflicts between Republicans and Democrats are bigger than those between rich and poor, young and old, rural and urban, and black and white.
It's the social safety net discussions that Pew Research says shows the biggest gap now. 71% of Democrats want more support for the needy, for example. Only around 24% of Republicans agree. The split has never been that big.
Here, let's do this. Okay.
Money's always a prickly topic.
And add one more child.
So, a test. Tax calculators to see how Kim and Lorna will each fare under Trump's new plan.
Oh, it went down.
A few $1,000s due back for Kim. She'd hoped for more, but it's cash in hand. And that, she says, is Trump fulfilling his promise to Americans.
I think he'll be a two-term president. I just think financially the stock market is going crazy, and people may not like him, but at the end of the day, what people care about is the money in their pockets.
The drain on revenue from the new tax law will come from other indirect.
Change the landscape, change the politics. Lorna Watt in her Silicon Valley knitting studio.
This is really simple.
The tax calculator has some good news for her, too.
$5,170.
You'll get
Tax cut.
$5,000 back.
Mm-hmm. I don't care about that number because I don't care about this tax plan. It's always good to have more money in your pocket, but compared to like how much it's threatening like all other social services, no, I don't think that's a fair price to pay. I'm happy to pay more taxes if we spend them the way I would like to spend them.
Is there one thing he did that, looking back on it in his first year, you think, you know what, that was an interesting idea, not so bad?
No.
No, there's not one.
No.
It is an economic civil war.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo last week.
That's public radio she and her sister are listening to, no Fox here.
This could cause people to leave the state of New York.
Did you change your sort of diet of news over the last year?
I added a couple sites to my like favorites, like the American Conservative, the Wall Street Journal, Financial Times. I think it opens your bubble as a liberal to read more about money, because I think money rules the world more than anything else. Ooh, it's raining.
No shift in opinions, though.
Hey guys.
The business Lorna and her sister run is successful.
Oh, this needs a lot of work down here.
San Francisco's a great market for their knitting installations.
Hi.
They get contracts from companies and the city to try to beautify areas, sometimes that struggle. She sees a lot of poverty and seems to be keeping in a lot of rage.
What is this thing that's happening with you, though, that where you are holding yourself so taut in this conversation and restraining yourself so much?
I try really hard to like respect the other side and where people are coming from, but I just think they're wrong, and it makes me mad that I have to sort of speak in like reasonable terms when it's like, I think all the information you're getting is wrong.
Some faux taxidermy.
But rather than just cut off all communications, these two women, Lorna the Democrat, Kim the Republican, keep trying. Snapchat is their preferred safe zone.
I sent her the socks.
I replied and said, you can't see his hands, he's probably tweeting, or it looks like he's tweeting.
Benign stuff, mostly, but
ooh, I have an idea.
Every now and then there is a little political poking. Gentle teasing, something they can agree on.
See what she says.
So expect some more protests by women this weekend. Who knows if they'll reach last year's epic proportions, but we do know hundreds of women who marched last January didn't leave it at that. Trump's victory has spurred a record number of women, first-time candidates, to run for office and stand against Trump and his agenda. One of them spoke with our Lindsay Dunco.
It started off rough, pretty rough last year, and I figured now is the time. And so many of my friends were jumping into races, and I thought, why not me?
Vangie Williams is running for Congress, and she'll be speaking at the march in D.C. Watch The National this Sunday for a deeper look at the tidal wave of women inspired by Trump's election to seek power.